Okay, recording this video after close of trade Thursday, 11th of October 2012. Well, we had a classic little setup today. I want to talk through that, but first of all, where are we? We've put in the pullback and an uptrend signal on the daily chart here, about 1.2 million contracts traded. I really liked trading Thursday. Not sure this pullback support level is totally in yet. So I think that's kind of printed just a fraction early. I think we're going to play around this level for probably another day or so. It's kind of on this 45-minute, 135-minute daily time frame. We've still not had a pullback to end of trend sequence on this kind of lowest time frame, so a trend move on this lowest time frame being equivalent to a cycle support or resistance move on the highest time frame. So I think we've still got to put in a pullback to end of trend sequence on the 45. And we're well now below this trend line, so I think we might be looking to find some kind of a bottom, bounce back up, kind of test this trend line. That'll be the pullback to end of trend move on this daily time frame, and then it'll be interesting to see where we go from there. Interesting, today's activity on the better TRIN was positive 27. If you look at, that's the adjusted TRIN value, so positive readings are buying, net buying, negative readings are net selling. So we've had a nice kind of down signal, short signal here on the TRIN oscillators. We're down at negative 35. It's not really oversold, but actually today's activity, although it was a down day, there was quite a lot of net buying going on there. So that's why I think around this previous low we're going to just try and hold here and then kind of test back up. So this is the nice kind of setup pattern. I talk about this on all these time frames. When you go from lower, medium to higher time frame, the pullback to end of trend sequence is rippling through. They start, with the trend move being generated on the lowest time frame and the pullback to end of trend sequence being finished off in the lowest time frame, and then they start to ripple through. So on the 4500 tip bar chart, this is Wednesday's activity coming into those lows. We had a continuation of the downtrend, and there's all the blue professional bars come in. We have this pretty big spike on the downside here with exhaustion selling, and that was the downgrade of Spain news coming out there, and that formed the bottom that we could bounce from. So pullback to end of trend on the 4500 tip bar chart. Then the next place you're looking for resistance is the next place it bounces up. So this is Thursday's activity, this is Wednesday's activity, that's all those blue professional bars at the lows there. Bounces back up into the next resistance point that we have, which is pullback in a downtrend. And that's what I was looking for today. And then we've made today a dirty end of trend signal. So pullback to dirty end of trend. It's not printed as an end of trend because we had this pullback level violated, but that's effectively what it is. And then so we're going to find support here and bounce back up on the 40,500 tip bar chart to a pullback and a downtrend kind of signal here. So we're looking for that next resistance level on the way back up here, somewhere between where we are and where that support level is kind of broken down. So it's kind of nice. You see these patterns kind of rippling through, and then when this level on the 13,500 was kind of reached, what we're looking for, because again on this time frame this is a cycle coming in here. Let's look for a trending signal in the lower time frame to associate with that in order to try and pick off that top. And that the lower time frame that is associated with 13,500 is the 1500 tip bar chart. So let's go to the favorite 1500 tip bar chart, and there's that pullback to end of trend move. Pullback to end of trend tries to print another pullback level. Now, so a couple of points to make. The first one is looking for these pullback to end of trend signals kind of rippling through the time frames as this low is we're hunting for this low, and this downtrend kind of gets exhausted. We have these kind of large bouncing ranges that we can pick off using these time frames. The other thing is when you're looking for your entries, wait for the exhaustion patterns, and I keep on saying this. We've had this uptrend. This was the downgrade of Spain. We had pretty strong uptrend that kind of advanced from there. We had an explosion of buying volume kind of early. That was at the end of the day, but that was kind of professionals kind of getting into that move early. They had to sit through this spike down, which was the news release on Spain. But the early buying is in. We've got to see that early exhaustion buying happening during the trading day. So we had a continuation of this uptrend going on, and it wasn't over until we saw that exhaustion buying. We'd had our pullback to end of trend signal, but we didn't have blue professional bars kind of taking profits as we were coming into that end of trend signal, and we hadn't had the exhaustion buying. And they came after we breached it a second time, kind of up here, and there's all the blue professional bars kind of come in. We had those on the 4500 tip bar chart, exhaustion buying, bearish divergence. We try and make, we push back up with some other blue professional bars here, try and make another pullback to end of trend, but it's very weak at that point. We burst through that support level into a downtrend. that ends up kind of going quite a ways. So nice little setup. I was late into my trading because we were out to lunch, but caught this move. I was long at 37 right at the beginning of the day, just because we hadn't seen those blue professional bars kind of come in. I was expecting those, so I thought we'd have a move, an explosive kind of exponential type move from 37. The target was at 41, didn't get hit. I only just took a half point out of that move initially. There was a nice little setup kind of previously with a Rambo pattern, so we had blue professional bars kind of coming into this support area, pullback and an uptrend. Again, the uptrend is not complete until we see that exhaustion pattern. Gets kind of tested here. Maybe you might have got shaken out, but as soon as the high of that Rambo pattern gets taken out, that's a nice little signal where the pullback level is holding to get long into that move, and there was 3 or 4 points to be had there. But then the nice one is getting short on this move down. So we have the break of the support area here. We have test back up, so support becomes resistance at that point as we move back up, and it kind of just collapses there. So I was short 37. Moved my target to 33.5 because I'd had a half point on that first trade, and was out just at 33.5. So it was kind of down in this region here. I had to sit through a little bit, but these are all kind of showing exhaustion buying, bearish divergence, flush patterns here, bang, kind of rolling on. Kept on going down, but I was done. 2 trades, 4 points, so I was quite happy with that. Anyway, so I'll tag on, probably just tag on the second trade there, but it was a good little setup day to day. But just the important things are you can see these kind of pullback to end of trend patterns rippling through those time frames, and then just waiting for confirmation on the lower time frames when you get these exhaustion patterns for reversal signals. Anyway, hope you traded well. Looking forward to Friday. Short at 7 even, short at 37 even. So let's see, we've cracked pullback level here. We'd had our exhaustion bearish divergence signal. Wasn't a pretty little kind of flush pattern here, but tried to get through 39s, couldn't. So we've got all these blue fractional bars now on the 45. They're coming on the 1500, and they weren't on this previous high at this pullback to end of trend. They didn't get there, so this one didn't end up completing perfectly. Pullback to not even a dirty end of trend, so we're falling through support at that point there. We'll have support print on the 500 soon, but hopefully that was it. And then on long-term chart, this is what we're playing around. It was a trend move on the 1500 that's syncing up with a cycle move on 13,500. Would have been great to see just a blue professional bar right up there. We got them on 45, but let's see. So short 37 now. Okay, well here we go. We've put in the support on 500, amateur up bars into 37.5, coming back down. Support becomes resistance kind of right here, so hopefully as we break through those new lows, this will kind of pick up speed and get going on the downside. Alright, here we go, just broken down 35s, amateur down bar Rambo pattern here, which is kind of a big deal on the 1500 tip bar charts, but we're through supports on these 2 time frames, so we've got pullback to end of trend to make, but we could easily just bounce off these 35 levels. So looking for 33. Here we go, keep on going down. Next support really should be pullback to end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart on the way down here that syncs up with support on 45, so we've got a little bit of time to run. We're nowhere near the day's lows, so we've got more to run. So blue professional bar in here, first one we've seen in a while. Let's keep holding short. Alright, just broken down 34s, blue professional bars kind of coming in here. The target's at 33 even. We've got minus 8,000 on better momentum, but we still got pullback to end of trend to go, and a little bit of time before this kind of comes in. Blue professional bars on 45 as well, so just need another little 1.5 kind of move down. So it could get exciting, just kind of all of a sudden collapsing, so that's what I'm holding out for. Okay, we just had another flush pattern on 500. These have been quite nice, showing us the exhaustion, bearish divergence, flush, flush, flush all the way down. And we got pullback in a downtrend to print on the 500 tip bar chart that'll take us down a little bit further. This previous low down here is 34 even, so we kind of bounced around 34.5, a little bit of a technical kind of bounce. Okay, more blue professional bars kind of coming in, so this is getting a little bit dangerous on the downside here. So upper half points, I'm thinking about changing my target to 33.5. Yep, let's do that. 33.50, and so just hoping for another kind of point move down. At 34 there'll be a whole bunch of activity. technical bounce, stops run and so on. So let's see if I can just get pushed out on that next kind of shift down when this kind of comes into gear on 500. Okay, still holding out for a bit more. Pullback and a downtrend's gone off. We had rainbow patterns just here. Emini up bars around this turning point. Blue professional bar kind of come in. Hopefully the lows of that get broken. We kind of push down again, make a better bottom. But I'm just conscious that we've had these kind of two blue professional bars kind of coming in, and this thing's kind of slowed down on the downside. So okay, here we go. Kind of turning around, come back down to the previous lows. At 4.5, just wanted to run to 3.5. Flush signal kind of came out here, and we got this support kind of due on 45, but pull back to here we go. So 4.5. So let's run through that, please. Get to 3.5, take me out. So we've got pullback to end of trend to run here on the 500. Bingo, just taken out 350. Excellent. So that's for 3.5, and with the half point on the first trade 4. So 4 points, 2 trades, and it was kind of rainbow pattern, just waiting for that kind of push down, pull back to end of trend or go off kind of shortly, and then this could have a bounce on the 4500 tip bar charts. We kind of try and find that support area here. Looks like it would have made 33, the original target, but that's fine. Quite happy with that. Good. Hope you traded well. It's 10:41 AM.